Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Doug and I'm back with another fountain pen review. As I continue to grow my beard again for my Movember fundraiser in support of men's health, please visit my Movember page and give generously. You can find the link in the description below. I will be donating all of my YouTube membership revenue for the month of November. Thank you. And on to today's fountain pen review. A couple of months ago, Narwhal generously provided this Narwhal Schuylkill Dragonet Sapphire piston filler to me for a review and a giveaway. While doing that review, I noticed they had a new vacuum filler fountain pen called the Original Plus. I wrote to Narwhal and asked if they could provide me with one for review. They promptly replied and asked me which color and nib I wanted. I replied and then waited about 6 weeks. I finally got impatient and asked again. I immediately got an email reply apologizing profusely that they had forgotten to follow up. And within a week, I had this gorgeous fountain pen in my hands. Narwhals swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion, 'cause they are so awesome. They also wanted to do the same giveaway again, so I will be holding a giveaway draw for a new Narwhal Original Plus, just like this one. So join me as I put this beautiful vacuum filler through its paces and find out how you can win it right now. So back in August, I did a review of this Narwhal, now pronounced Narwhal, Schuylkill Dragonet Sapphire. Narwhal provided this pen to me for review, and it is just gorgeous, and I really liked it. And when I was corresponding with Narwhal, I noticed that they have a new model vacuum filler called the Original Plus, and I asked, would it be possible that I have one of those Original Pluses to review for my channel, and they said sure. And I've got the pen, but let's open this up and see what's inside. And here is the Narwhal, pronounced Narwhal, but spelled Nahvalur. Narwhals, they are narwhals. This is the new logo and new name for Narwhal. Apparently it's Icelandic for narwhal, but pronounced the same. And it says it is a Narwhal Original Plus Azurious Blue Medium. So I asked for a medium and I asked for the blue. Nice package. It slides out, and here's the pen. There we go. This is the Azurious Blue, which is really quite lovely. All that blue swirl. It's coming out on camera a lot deeper blue than by my eye. It is blue-green. On my camera it's showing it's a bit more royal blue, but it's a blue-green. And there's the Narwhal nib. And we have the same posting issues as other previous Narwhals. Unscrew the knob and pull the piston down, and we will get a vacuum. But I'm very much interested in comparing the Narwhal to my Pen BBS 456, which is my favorite vacuum filler. So I think we might have a shootout on hand with the Narwhal Original Plus vacuum filler. And what I'd like to do today is go over the parts and features of this pen, show some size comparisons, some measurements, and then provide a writing sample. After the writing sample, please stay tuned as I will talk about what I like and what I don't like so much about this fountain pen. I won't leave you in suspense until the end of the video to find out how to win this pen, or at least one very much like it. Just be a subscriber to my channel, follow Narwhal on Instagram, I'll put their address up right here, and leave a comment on this video below to be entered into the draw. You will have 1 week to enter, as I will randomly select a winner from eligible comments 1 week today on December 3rd, 2022. I will announce the winner by replying to the winning comment and in a pinned comment on this video, as well as an announcement on my YouTube community page. That's 3 notifications to the winner. If you are the winner, you will have 48 hours from the announcement to respond to me by email at inquiringminds@gmail.com with your name, your Instagram username, and your address so Phoebe at Narwhal can send you your prize. Good luck to everyone. And on to this fountain pen. I selected the pale turquoise blue called Azurius blue with a medium nib. The original plus is available in 4 colors. Typical of Narwhal, each of the colors is sea-related. This blue is called Azurius blue and references the zebra sea chub, or Kyphosis azurius, and of course, Azurius is also Latin for azure blue. There's also a green called Altifrons green, and it references the Geophagus altifrons fish from the Amazon River in Brazil. The purple original plus is called Melicara purple and relates to the tropical Atlantic fish, the black cap basslet. And the yellow original plus is called Gold ocellatus, after the small goldfish native to Africa, and specifically Lake Tanganyika in Tanzania. They are available with 4 nib sizes, F, M, B, and a 1.1 stub, and retail for $55 US. Overall, it is a medium to large size cylindrical pen made from a lovely transparent turned acrylic. I must say the acrylics are improving from Narwhal. My first Narwhal, a Schuylkill, the Porpita, didn't impress me, but the Dragonet Sapphire is gorgeous. And this beautiful transparent turquoise swirl is really lovely. Here is the pen with a Pilot Metropolitan for scale. From the top, we see the typical Narwhal domed metal insert on the beveled top finial. The unique Narwhal clip extends from the cap and is nicely springy and usable. And it's identical to the clip on the Schuylkill. The cap curves up to a double grooved chrome cap band that has the old spelling of Narwhal roll stamped in it twice. Here's an observation I can make thanks to Doodlebud's engineering expertise. Note the edge between the barrel and the end of the cap band here. Notice it is slightly beveled so it doesn't engage with the cap band and cause damage or allow the cap to seize on that acrylic. It's a nice touch. And here is an illustration of why that bevel is so important. This is the Asveen V169 Vac-filler, and it doesn't have that gap between the cap and the barrel. And when it sticks, you end up unscrewing the section instead of the cap, which I've done on numerous occasions, and when it's inked, it causes a bit of a problem. I actually had to use some needle nose pliers to get that section out of the cap just recently. The acrylic barrel tapers over its length to a rounded and beveled chrome ring that separates the barrel from the blind cap, and the blind cap end is nicely domed. The cap unscrews with 1.5 turns to reveal the tapering acrylic section with a small flare towards the number 6 size Narwhal steel nib and black plastic feed. The section is a good girth and comfortable in the hand. In fact, the section is identical to the Schuylkill section, which I like a lot. Almost identical. What's different is the cap threads, because this section on the original plus is removable where it's not removable on the Schuylkill. And let's get a close-up on this nib. There's some scroll work, a Narwhal whale, and a wavy splash of the ocean that the Narwhal seems to be leaping from. Very nice. And there's an M stamped into the side of the nib that shows the size of medium. Narwhal says these nibs are manufactured in-house. The nib and feed are part of a nib assembly that unscrews for replacement or maintenance and is identical to the nib unit on the Schuylkill, so they are swappable. The section unscrews to access the ink chamber, and you can see the silicone O-ring there at the end of the nozzle of the section. It's always a good idea to add a little bit of silicone grease to that O-ring and to those threads, just for safety. The inside of the cap shows a ledge milled into the acrylic that meets up with the section to keep the nib from evaporating. And because it's a demonstrator, you can see how that section lines up with that ledge. The cap posts securely, but not very deeply, and makes for a very long and unbalanced fountain pen. The cap only goes on that blind cap, and not past that chrome ring. So I prefer to write with the pen unposted, and it's plenty long enough and nicely balanced and comfortable in the hand unposted. You can post the pen if you wish without fear, as all that would happen if you rotated it would be that you open the ink valve. Unlike the Schuylkill, which if you post on that blind cap and rotate the cap, you'll move the piston and cause ink to gush out the front. Not recommended. And speaking of that valve, let's see how it works. If you've never used a vacuum filler, they work on the principle of negative pressure. By unscrewing the blind cap and withdrawing the rod, that piston that you can see is withdrawn to the back of the barrel. And then when you press that piston back down again, it creates a negative pressure back here, or a vacuum. And then that chamber gets wider right at that point right there. Now you can hear all that air being sucked up into the barrel by relieving that vacuum pressure. So you withdraw the rod to the back, put the nib in the ink, and push it down, and when it gets to that point, it sucks up ink into the ink chamber. And because the pen is transparent, you can see that O-ring right at the end of that piston. When I screw the blind cap back down, how it engages with that section and plugs that hole to keep the ink from flowing through. So in order to write, just open that knob again. It disengages that O-ring and allows the ink to flow into your nib. And when you're done writing, turn the nib up. I always tap it a little bit to get all that extraneous ink out of there, and close the valve. And then you're good to travel with it in your pocket or on an aircraft, and it won't be spitting ink all over the place. The end of the vacuum mechanism has small flats on those threads right there, so you can put your wrench on that, just on those flats, so you don't damage the threads. And it's a right-handed thread, so you just give it a small turn, and then you can do the rest with your hands and unscrew that from the back of the barrel. And there is the vacuum filling mechanism. You can see the silicone rubber piston ring right there, and the rubber stopper, that close valve. And there's two silicone O-rings right there, just before those threads that engage with the barrel to keep ink from leaking through. So it's always a good idea to add just a drop of silicone grease right there on those threads, and just on that piston ring right there. With that mechanism out of the pen and the section off, you have the barrel free to clean out, rinse under a tap with clear water, and dry completely, making ink changes relatively easy to do. Then you just put that mechanism back in again. Give it just a very, very slight turn by holding onto the wrench and turning the barrel so it's hand tight. And then you can run that silicone grease up and down the inside. You hear that pop, meaning we're getting a nice vacuum. And you can put your section back on, and you've maintained your pen. But let's demonstrate how to fill this with some ink. And I'm going to use the Pelikan Ink of the Year Apatite, because it's a lovely light turquoise color that I think matches this pen very, very nicely. Now we withdraw the rod, put the pen into the ink, and we push it down, and it draws up ink. Now I'm going to show you a little tip here on getting a complete fill, because you can see I've got about half of that ink chamber filled. Having a Kleenex always helps in this situation. But you can, to get a complete fill, turn the pen nib up and withdraw that rod again to the back, and then pushing on the rod, you're going to push that ink up until it gets to the section. So that ink level is going to get to the back of that section. Just hold that ink level right there and hold the rod from moving. Put it back down into the ink without letting the piston move, and push it back down. And wait for a second. Allow that ink up into the chamber, and you see we have a much more full fill on that pen. Again, have a Kleenex handy if you want to do that. Now let's look at some size comparisons. Here is the Narwhal Original Plus vacuum filler with a Pen BBS 456 in Purple Cloud, an Asveen V169 vacuum filler, a Wingsung 699 vacuum filler, and a Lamy Safari. Now let's look at them posted. And here they are posted. The Pen BBS 456 and the Wingsung 699 are the best posters in this group, as the Asveen doesn't post at all, and the Narwhal is very long posted. Now let's look at them unposted, and you can see they're all relatively the same size unposted. The Narwhal, the Pen BBS, and the Asveen all use the same filling mechanism parts and are interchangeable with each other. This means that 3 companies get their parts from the same manufacturer. This is actually a good thing, as it means you can use the Pen BBS parts bag, which is only $8 on Etsy, to maintain your Narwhal original. Now let's look at some measurements, and I'll be back with a writing sample. And we're back with the writing portion of the review. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper, and this is the Narwhal spelled Nahvalur, but pronounced Narwhal.
Narwhals swimming in the ocean, pretty big and pretty wide, and beat a polar bear in a fight.
Original Plus, and it has a medium number 6 size steel nib. Let's check the wetness. It is nicely wet and smooth right out of the box. Very nice. And the ink today is Pelikan, Edelstein, Apatite, Apatite. And here is a sample of this ink I put down on Tomoe River paper, and right next to some Lamy turquoise. I know blues are really particularly difficult on camera because they end up being more blue for some reason, but Lamy turquoise is just slightly bluer than the Edelstein Apatite, which is a shade towards green. So the Apatite is slightly more green than the turquoise blue of Lamy. And as to line variation, you can push it a bit, but this is a relatively stiff steel Chinese nib. And this line makes a 0.6 millimeter line, which is a Western medium or a Japanese medium to broad on my Richard Binder line width chart, which you can find linked in the description below. And for our quote: and for some reverse writing, it is a bit thinner, slightly drier, but very smooth. This is delightful, very nice. And for some quick writing, No issues keeping up whatsoever. Very wet. So what do I like and what do I not like about this fountain pen? I like this pen a lot. I'm partial to Vac-fillers, and my Pen BBS 456 Vac-filler is my favorite. I have 6 of these, in fact. This in purple cloud, one in black, and it has a corresponding black nib. Very nice. Amber is a cat. Niango is a cat. Tootsie is also a cat. Look at that. And of course my favorite, Galaxy. Isn't a cat, but it's Doug's favorite.
I actually Doug.
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 So the Narwhal is up against it when I compare them. I can honestly say that I'm impressed with this Narwhal though. It doesn't defeat the Pen BBS 456, but it comes close. I should do a shootout between these two pens. And the Narwhal makes one big improvement over the Pen BBS and has one serious drawback. The drawback is the lack of posting. I don't consider this posting. If they made the rear of the barrel and the blind cap taper more, that cap might post deeper and make it a much more balanced and usable poster. But Narwhal has removed one major flaw in the Pen BBS 456 design, and that is the metal to acrylic between the cap threads and the top of the 456 barrel. Because of the difference in mass, this is a natural break point between the metal cap threads at the top of the 456 barrel and the acrylic. Any slight drop and it will break right there. I know this from experience. But Narwhal has made this entire barrel and section acrylic, including the cap thread, strengthening that weak point. And this transparent acrylic with the light colored swirls is really beautiful. The balance of the pen in the hand unposted is excellent, and that girthy grip and section is very comfortable. This is the best nib I've experienced from Narwhal, and it is a standard number 6 size, so you can swap it out for your favorite number 6 size nib without much difficulty. The pen holds a great deal of ink at 2.2 milliliters, and that shutoff valve is invaluable for traveling. In fact, I'm traveling to the United States next week for a vacation, and I'll probably take 2 pens, one of my Pen BBS Vac-fillers and this Narwhal Original Plus. And I'll be selecting one of you to win a Narwhal Original Plus of your choice as part of the giveaway courtesy of Narwhal Pens.
Narwhals, they are narwhals, narwhals. Inventors of dishes combined.
Thanks go out to Phoebe of Narwhal for providing this pen for review and for organizing the giveaway. Don't forget to comment below to enter. I'll give you a topic to discuss. Which of the 4 colors of the Original Plus do you like the best? And don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well as follow Narwhal Pens on Instagram, in addition to adding your comment to be entered into the draw. You must enter before next Saturday, December 3rd to qualify. Good luck to all of you. And there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And please look in the description for a link to Goldspot Pens, as I'm now an affiliate of the online store, and when you shop at Goldspot using my link, you'll be supporting my channel as well at no extra charge to you. You can also join as a member of my channel for only 99 cents a month, and I guarantee I'll answer your comments in the comment section, and you'll get cool emojis, badges, and sneak peek unboxing videos as well. And that just leaves it for me to say, thank you for watching. And that's all she wrote.
I made this.